Hello, friends, and welcome to the Research Lab at Hero Academy. I'm Professor Tina, and I'm so glad you're here with me today because in the Research Lab, we get to dive deep into God's Word to find out what it means, especially today, what it means to be a good friend, because true heroes are good friends. Today, our story starts from the book of Ruth in the Bible, the greatest book in the world. And we get to dive into what true friendship really looks like. The story begins with a family that lived in Israel, but Israel was experiencing a famine. There was no food. So this family moved all the way to another country called Moab. And there they established their roots. There was a mom, her name was Naomi, and she had two sons who were married to Orpah and Ruth. Now, friends, they had a good life and things were going so good, but something happened where Naomi's husband passed away, and then Naomi's two sons passed away. Orpah and Ruth were widows. Naomi, their mother-in-law, was a widow, and there was much sadness. Naomi knew there was nothing she could offer her daughter-in-laws. So this is what she said: go back to your home. Go back to your father and mother's house, because I have nothing to offer you now that my sons are dead. And Orpah cried. Ruth cried. Naomi cried. Orpah decided, yes, that is what I will do. I will go back to my mother's home, my father's home, and begin a new life there. But Ruth, she said, no, Naomi, I'm not leaving you. And Naomi insisted, Ruth, I have nothing for you. There's nothing I could give you. There's nothing for you if you stay with me. But still, Ruth clung to Naomi and said this: Naomi, wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you will be, I will be. And whoever your God is will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die and be buried there. And Ruth continues saying this and saying, let nothing separate me from you. And if so, let God deal with me very severely. Naomi knew after Ruth's plea that Ruth was not leaving her, and a beautiful friendship began. Cadets, check out what I have today. Some of you may know what this is. These are little trinkets that people wear that say, oh, we're best friends and we're gonna stay together forever, like this. Yay. But let me tell you, Naomi and Ruth were bound together by friendship, a friendship that God purposed and designed. And it's not just stuck together with just two necklaces that you give each other. It was stuck together and bonded by the love of God. And today, guys, we get to learn that. When you think about a true hero is a good friend through good times and through bad times. Through when times are wonderful, and especially stick together when times are hard. Naomi and Ruth had to travel back to Israel because there was nothing left for them in the country of Moab. And that journey, even in itself, was a very dangerous one. But they stuck together. They were friends. And as they made this journey, they went back to Israel and established themselves there to create a new life. Naomi, Ruth together, and this friendship continued to grow deeper. Friends, it wasn't easy to start over. In fact, there wasn't any food. So what Ruth had to do is to go find fields of wheat where she could collect wheat that the workers dropped. Now, friends, back in the biblical times, farmers let people do that so those that were hungry could eat, and that's what Ruth was doing. That's a difficult thing to do. That's so hard, but she knew she had to bring some food back to Naomi or they wouldn't eat. And as Ruth worked every day very hard for Naomi and herself, there was a man who took attention to her, and his name was Boaz. And in fact, he became the one who would eventually become her husband. He saw how Ruth worked hard. He knew and heard of what Ruth did for Naomi, that Ruth didn't leave her, even though she could have. She knew what friendship was, and she stuck together so close with Naomi, and Boaz was impressed. He said, wow, there is a woman of great honor. And through this journey, they eventually became husband and wife. Boaz and Ruth had children and had a son. And this brought joy back into Naomi, back into the family of Naomi and Ruth. And friends, this shows how when you stick together in friendship, in good times and really bad times, in the way God designed friendship, wonderful things can happen. So cadets, today we talk about true heroes are good friends. And the perfect example that we can see is of Ruth and Naomi. Ruth could have just left Naomi on her own, but knew she couldn't do that in really hard times. When it was so difficult to go on, Ruth never gave up on Naomi, and Naomi never gave up on Ruth. This became a beautiful friendship. Now, friends and cadets, this is what we want you to take home with you. So today, thanks for coming to the Research Lab to learn about what it means to be good friends. Now it's your turn to take it back and put it into action to be a true hero, not just at the academy, but when you go back home. So thank you for joining me in the Research Lab. I'm excited for the rest of the week and to dive deeper into the Bible with you, cadet, so you can learn what it means to be a true hero.